Good morning to all. I am Dr. N.O. Natarajan, Assistant Professor, cum Librarian, Department of Library and Information Science, Anna University Regional Campus, Anna University, Madurai. This is my email ID, nondlis.au@gmail.com. First of all, I wish to thank Maya's Research and Learning Private Limited for conducting these online courses, and I thank Dr. R. Mayakannan, our course director, and our course coordinators Dr. S. Aravind and Mrs. Subha for giving me this opportunity to share my ideas with you. I also thank my co-research persons and you, the participants, for making this program a grand success. Now we are going to talk about data presentation techniques in research. For the past 2 days, you would have known about many things regarding the research, like collection of review of literature, data collection tools and techniques of data analysis, etc. We are going to see about various data presentation techniques in research in this session. Before that, let us see on whole about what is data, types of data. Definition of data: any observation collected in respect of any characteristics or event is called data. For research, you would have collection of data from various sources. That particular collection of information is called data. There are various types of data. One is quantitative data, qualitative data, discrete data, continuous data, primary data, secondary data, nominal data, ordinal data. These are the types of the data are given in this slide. First we shall see about qualitative data. What is qualitative data? It is also called enumeration data. Represent a particular quality or attribute. It has no notation of magnitude or size of the characteristics, as they cannot be measured. It is expressed as numbers without unit of measurement. For example, religion, sex, blood group. They do not have any units for measurement. These type of data are called qualitative data. They express the quality. Next we shall see about quantitative data. When we come the quantitative data, it tells about how much quantity is present. So it is also called as measurement data. This data have a magnitude, can be expressed as number with or without unit of measurement. For example, the height can be measured in centimeter. HB, that is hemoglobin count, can be measured in gram percentage. BP, blood pressure, can be measured in millimeter of mercury, and weight of the particular person in kilograms, etc. These the types of examples are quantitative data. This data gives the amount present. So it is called as quantitative data. Next we shall see about discrete data and continuous data. Discrete data, here we always get a whole number. Example, number of beds in hospital, malaria cases in particular area or particular hospital. This is the discrete data examples. Now, continuous data, it can take any value possible to measure or possibility of getting fraction. For example, hemoglobin level count, height of the particular person, weight of the particular person. This is the continuous data. Next, comes the primary data, secondary data, and secondary data. Primary data obtained directly from an individual, it gives precise information. Secondary data obtained from outside source, example data obtained from hospital record or census record is the example of secondary data. Nominal data and ordinal data. Nominal data, the information or data fit into one of the categories, but the categories cannot be ordered one above another. Example, color of eyes, race, sex. This is the nominal data examples. Next we see ordinal data. Here the categories can be ordered, but the space or class interval between two categories may not be the same. The ordinal data is occur only two categories. For example, ranking of the class or exam. Example is ranking of in the class or exam. Next we see, now we can recall the types of data. See the flow chart. The types of data are divided into two large types. One is qualitative, another one is quantitative. The qualitative data can be further divided into nominal data and ordinal data. Regarding the nominal data, it has two or more categories are not in any particular order or rank. For example, blood groups A group, B group, AB or O positive. And ordinal data categories are in order on or rank is the ordinal data. For example, mild, moderate is example. Next again, quantitative data divided into two part. One is discrete data, another one is continuous data. Discrete data counted in whole number. The whole number is discrete data. For example, number of family members is the particular family, that is called discrete data. Continuous data can have fraction, example height of the particular person. The Ramu's height is 161.5 centimeter. This is the example of the continuous data. Now we come to most important part, that is data presentation. Did you think that presentation is so important? Did you think that presentation is so important? Come on. Yes, it is very important. In our house, your mom may cook many food items, but she cannot put all the dishes together. She will separate and present it in neat manner. In your dining table, then alone you will be eager to eat them. In the same way, for not only for the research purpose, but anything we should give more important for the presentation. What is presentation method? It is the way in which you deliver a presentation. It is just important as organizing your material ahead of your presentation. Have you delivered your message actually a vital component of the message itself? Presenting data is very important one. In fact, it is a great way to spice up your presentation and share important facts and figures with our audience. Now, we shall see the principle of data presentation. A data presentation is done to arrange a data in such a way that it should create interest in the reader's mind at the first sight. To present the information in compact and concise from without losing important details. To present the data in a simple form so as to draw the conclusion directly by viewing at the data. To present it in such a way that it can help in future statistical analysis. Next we see what are the uses of presentation. Data presentation in simple form. It arises interest in reader, facilitate further statistical analysis, it define problem and should suggest its solution it. While the presenting a data, we should make a note that the data presentation should be concise but without losing important details. These are the uses of data presentation. Next we can say the presentation of data. Presentation of data is the process of organizing data into logical, sequential and meaningful categories and classifying them to make them easy to study and interpret. Next, this refers to the organization of data into tables, graphs and charts so that the logical statistical conclusion can be derived from collected measurement. Now we shall about type of data presentation. This is the slide in the presentation of data. Regarding the presentation of data, it could be presented in the three ways, that is textual presentation, tabular presentation and graphical presentation shown in the slide. Next we see, first we shall see about textual presentation of data. Data can be presented using paragraph or sentence. It is narrative description of the data gathered. It involves enumerating important characteristics, emphasizing significant figures and identifying important features of data. These are the presentation of data. For example, simple data like there are 30 students in the class, 20 of whom are girls while 10 are boys is easier to understand through textual presentation. Here no table or graph is required to present this data as it can be comprehended through text. Next we shall in the types of presentation, the data, the graphical presentation and diagrammatical presentation comes under visual presentation. Now we shall see the tabular presentation is chronically shown in the graph in this slide. Next we see, now we shall see the presentation of data in an additional manner. The presentation of data is divided into tabular and graphical form. The tabular form is further divided into simple table, complex table. Now we shall see for which type of data, what type of graphical presentation should be done. The quantitative data can be represented into, one is histogram, second one is frequency polygon, third one is frequency curve, fourth one line chart, and fifth one is nominal distribution curve, and sixth one cumulative distribution curve, and seventh one scatter diagram. These are the quantitative data. And the next is qualitative data divided into four types. One is bar chart, second one is pictogram, third one is pie chart, fourth one is mapgram. These are shown in the presentation of data flowchart method. Next we come to tabulation. The slide in the tabulation. It is systematically and logical arrangement of classification data in rows and columns. This is the tabulation. Let a simple table. In this table, that collected data presented in the tabular form. The sports name in one column and number of person in another column. This table shown in the slide. What sport do you play? One column is sports another one columns people. 106 people in soccer, 45 people in tennis, 54 people in gymnastics, 82 people in swimming, and 68 people in track events. This is the simple table formation. Now we shall go to rules of tabulation. Yes, rules of tabulation. A number should be assigned to the table, that is table number. A little should be given to the table. It should be concise and self-explanatory. Content of the table should be defined clearly. Subtitles should be properly mentioned with column and rows. Group intervals in columns and rows should neither be too narrow nor too wide. They should also be mutually exclusive. Unit of measurement must be mentioned clearly wherever necessary. Any short form or symbols, if used, should be explained in the footnote. No place should be left in the body of table. There should be logical arrangement of data in table. These are the rules of tabulation. Next, we come to the following this significance of tabulation. Simplifies complex data. Unnecessary detail and representation of data are avoided in tabulation. Facilitates comparison. Give identified data. Reveal pattern within the figures which cannot be seen in the narrative form. These are the significance of tabulation. Next, we come to skeleton of the table. It should have a title table number. The shown in the slide, the skeleton of the table, one column, 2 column, 3 columns are given and 2 rows are given. Title is top position and table number is given in the table number, and row headings and followed by row entries, and column headings and followed by body of the tables in total column, and the bottom of the footnote. Footnote is very essential, and source code followed by the footnote. The source code is very essential for the skeleton of the table. This is the skeleton of the table in the slide. And next we come to make table adhere the rules. That is the precaution of the table. Table should suit the size of the paper. Captions and steps should be arranged in some systematic order. Unit of measurement should be clearly defined and given in the table. Figures should be rounded to avoid unnecessary detail in the table, and footnote to this effect should be given. These are the precaution is followed in the formation of tables. Next we come to essential of tables. That is type of tables. The type of tables shown in the slide, and that is flow chart. Type of table divided into 2 parts. One is basic of purpose, another one is basic of content. The basic of purpose divided into 2 parts. One is reference table, another one is text table. And then next, basics of content divided into 2 parts. One is simple table, another one is complex tables. The complex table divided into again 3 types. One is double table, second one is triple tables, and third one is multiple tables. These are the flow chart shown in the types of table. Next we come to basic contents of the table. The basic contents of table is very essential one. Shown in the slide, tabular percentage of data. Below is a symbol of table with all its parts included. First one is table number. First put in table number. Shown in the table 5 is table number, and table title is a youth activities, that is the table title. And then third one is column header. The column header is in the Philippine Youth April 1996, and another column US Youth 1996. This is the column header. This is the essential one. Or the next one is row classifier. Rows classifier is the items are provided in the table. For example, read books, magazine or newspaper almost daily. This is the row classifier. And the next body of the text. That the body of the text is very useful one. And the next source note. The bottom of the table is put source note is very essential. These are the basic content of the table formation. Next we come to some example of the tables. One is simple table, data relating to only one characteristics to put simple table. Gender is character. This is one character. They put a simple table. One column is gender, another one is number of students. Boys 9 and girls 29. This is the simple table. And the next we see double table. Data relating to only two characters. When the two characters is occurring, they put double table. Two characters, one is gender, one column, another one is food habits. These are two characters. The food habit again divided in two column. One is vegetarian and non-vegetarian. The boys 2 vegetarians and 7 non-vegetarian. Girls 5 vegetarian and 24 non-vegetarian. This is the sample of double table. The two characters is occur. The put a double table. Next, triple table. Data relating to only 3 characteristics. When the 3 characteristics occur, they put triple table. Is easily understood. One is gender, another one is food habit. Also see in the previous slide, vegetarian, non-vegetarian, and then again newly introduced in age below 20 years, above 20 years in vegetarian section. Other non-vegetarian section also age below 20 and above 20. The boys 0 below 20, 2 for vegetarian. Girls 1 for below 20 vegetarian, 4 for above 20 vegetarian. In the same way, non-vegetarian boys 1 below 20, 6 above 20. Girls 10 for non-vegetarian below 20 and above for 14 non-vegetarian. This is the format of the triple table. When the characters, 3 characters is occur, the tree table is given in the slide. Next, multiple table. When the multiple characters are available, thus they put multiple table. Here the multiple characters. One is gender. Genders divided into day scholar, hosteler, and then vegetarian, non-vegetarian. So multiple variables are given in this table. So put multiple table shown in the slide. Boys day scholar, hosteler, and girls day scholar, hosteler. Also see in the previous slide, vegetarian below 20 year age, above 20 years age, and non-vegetarian below 20 years, above 20 years. This is the format of the multiple table. Next we come to graph and diagrams. Graph and diagrams. I hope the graph and diagram are more advantageous than table since they are attractive. Attractive. The major advantages of graph and diagrams, they are attractive. They give a bird's eye view of the data. They can be easily understood by common man. They facilitate comparison of various characteristics. The impression created by them are long lasting. Theorems and results of statistics can be visualized using graph. These are the major advantages of graph. Next we come to limitation. There are some limitation also in the graph tables. There are visual aids. They cannot be considered as alternatives for numerical data, though theories and results could be easily visualized by diagram and graphs. Mathematical figures cannot be brought in. Diagrams and graph are not accurate as tabular data. Only tabular data can be used for further analysis. By diagrammatical and graphical misrepresentation, observer can be misled easily. It's possible to create wrong impression using diagram and graph. These are the major limitation of the graph representation. Next we come to rules for the drawing graphs and diagrams. Now we shall the difference. We shall the rules for drawing graphs and diagrams are given below. First, choose the form of diagram or graph which is capable of representing the given set of data. Next, the title. It gives information or diagram or graph contain. Next, scale. Skeleton of this scale should be neither too smaller or too large. The scale should be also specify the size of unit and what it represents. Example, number of persons in 1000. This is the scale is essential. Neatness. Yes, neatness is very important one. It is also attractive one. Next, attractive. Different types of lines or shirts, colors, etc. can be used to make pictures is more attractive. Yes, different type of colors is put the graph. That graph is very attractive one. And originality. Yes, it helps the observer to see the detail with accuracy. That is called originality. Simplicity. It good diagram depend upon easy with the observer can interpret it. That is a simplicity. That is easy observer. And economy. It cost and labor should be exercised drawing a diagram. This is a economical one. Next we come to, now we shall see the difference between graphs and diagrams. To construct a graph paper is generally used, whereas a diagram is constructed on plain paper. A graph represents mathematical relationship between two variables, whereas a diagram does not. Graphs are more appropriate than diagram to represent frequency distribution and time series. But diagrams are not at all used for representing frequency distribution. Diagrams are more attractive eyes and such are better situated for publicity and propaganda. Diagrams do not add anything to the meaning of the data and hence they are not help in analysis of data. Graphs are very much used by the statistician and the research workers in their analysis. These are the major difference between graph and diagram shown in the slide. Next we come to meaning of the graphical representation of data. What is meaning of the graphical representation data? A picture is said to be more effective than words for describing particular thing. A graphical representation is geometrical image of set of data. It is a mathematical picture. It enables us to think about a statistical problem in visual term. It is an effective economic device for the representation, understanding and interpretation of the collected data. These are the meaning of graphical representation of data. Next, we come to importance of graphical representation. It is used to make the data understandable to common man. It helps in easy and quick understanding of data. Data displayed by graphical presentation can be memorized for a long time, can be compared at a glance is the importance of the graphical representation. Next, we see in this slide types of graphical presentation. Two groups are given. One is ungrouped data, another one is grouped data. Ungrouped data divided into three types: line graph, bar graph, pie diagram or circle graph. And grouped data, histogram, frequency polygon, frequency curve. This is shown in the flow chart in the slide. Next we come to line graph. In the graph, chart 1 is retail prices of petrol and diesel along with the price of crude oil. This is shown in the graph. X-axis is year, Y-axis is price rate. Blue line graph is Indian crude basket, and dark blue is shown in the diesel prices, and yellow is shown in the petrol prices. So the shown in the graphical presentation, that is a line graph method. Next we come to another line graph format. Line graph are simple mathematical graph that are drawn on the graph paper by plotting the data, connecting one variable on the horizontal x-axis and another variable of data on the vertical y-axis. This shown in the slide. Time is the one x-axis and number of people in y-axis, shown in the line graph in the slide. Next we see bar graph. In bar graph, data is presented by bars. The bar can be made in any direction, that is vertical or horizontal. The bar are taken of equal weight and start from common horizontal or vertical line, and their length indicate the corresponding value of statistical data. When do we use bar diagram? When the data are given in whole number, then we use. When the data are to be compared easily, then we use. Next we come to how to make a bar graph. This is the shown in the slide bar graph chart. Two types of bar graph chart. One is horizontal type, another one is vertical type. This is the vertical types or horizontal type. A graph that uses rectangles bar to shown in the number of measurement, shown in the slide. Vertical type and horizontal types are used in the bar graph in this slide. Next we come to another format of different types of the bar graph. First quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter in the x-axis, and frequency is in the y-axis. Shown in the east, west, north is this axis given in the group of data. So the group of data shown in the graph slide. Okay, next we can see another format, separate type of bar graph, shown in the slide. Month January to August and number of buses manufactured in the second row. The x-axis is year, that is month, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, and y-axis is the number of buses manufactured. So shown in the separate type of bar graph is in the slide. Next we come to pie diagram. It is a circle in which different components are represented through this section or portion of a circle. To draw a pie diagram, first the value of each category is expressed as a percentage of the total, and then the angle 360 degree divided in the same percentages. Then at the center of a circle, these angles are drawn simultaneously starting from a particular radius. In this way, we get a set of sectorial areas proportional to the values of the items. These are pie diagrams. When do we use pie diagram? When the data are given in the percentage, then we use pie diagram. When the different aspect of variables are to be displayed, then we use pie diagram. When the data are to be compared normally, then we use pie diagram. Next we come to how to make a pie diagram. This is the pie diagram chart in this slide. shown in the 3-dimension pie diagram. Entire circle is equal to 100% of the data in the slide. Step to make circle of graph. First, draw a circle. Second one is find a center point of the circle. Third one is draw a radius. Fourth one is use particular to make the angle of the first, that is pie slice. This is the normal procedure of the draw a pie diagram. The shown in the different color in 3-dimension: blue, green, orange, red, and purple. This is the pie diagram in the slide. Next, we see the also another type of 3-dimension pie diagram in this slide. The different colors are the separately shown in the slide. And the another format of pie diagram shown in the 3-dimensional direction. Different colors put in the diagram. Each and every color denotes the yellow colors games, green color light green is book, and orange is utility, and yellow is entertainment, and blue is travel, and purple is education in chronically. This is the another type of the pie diagrams. Next we see histogram. A histogram is essential a bar graph of frequency distribution. It can be constructed for equal as well as unequal classes interval. Area of any rectangle of histogram is proportional to frequency of that class. When do we use histogram? When data are given in the form of frequency, then we use histogram. When class interval has to be displayed by a diagram, then we use histogram. When we need to calculate the mode of distribution graphically, then we use histogram. How to make a histogram? Any idea how to make histogram? This is a histogram slide shown in the slide. Histogram for equal class width, 2 columns, class interval height in centimeter 1 column, and frequency is another column shown in the diagram. X-axis is the height in the centimeter, y-axis in the frequency. This shown in the figure. That is the graph. This is one type of the bar diagram, that is called histogram graph. It's another format of histogram. Right? That is the example classes and frequency shown in the chart. It's shown in the graph. And then another example of the histogram chart using a histogram, height in the one column and frequency in another column to put a graph in histogram. That is the pie chart, one format of pie chart diagram, that is the continuous pie chart diagram in the histogram, that is called a histogram chart. Next we see frequency polygon. A frequency polygon is essentially a line graph. We can get it from a histogram if the midpoint of the upper bases of the rectangles are connected by the straight line, but it is not essential to plot a histogram first to draw it. We can construct it directly from a given frequency distribution. This is the frequency polygon. When do we use frequency polygon? When data are given in the form of frequency, then we use frequency polygon. When 2 or more groups have to be displayed in one diagram, then we use frequency polygon. When 2 or more groups are to be compared, then we use frequency polygon. Next we see the slide of the frequency polygon graph. X-axis in the below and y-axis is frequency shown in the large target and small target. This is the identified as a frequency polygon. The higher point and smaller point is easily identified in the frequency polygon. Next we see frequency curve. A frequency curve is smooth curve for which the total area is taken to be unity. It is a limiting form of histogram or frequency polygon. The frequency curve for a distribution can be obtained by drawing a smooth and freehand curve through the midpoint of the upper side of the rectangles forming the histogram. This is the frequency curve chart shown in the variables value is x-axis, variable frequencies are in the y-axis, shown in the frequency curve in the chart. Did you know scatter diagram? What is scatter diagram? A scatter plot, scatter chart, scatter graph uses dot to represent values for two different numerical variables. The position of each dot on the horizontal and vertical axis indicate value for an individual data point. Scatter plot are used to observe relationship between the two variables. This is the scatter diagram. This is the example of the scatter diagram. The local ice cream shop keeps track of how much ice cream they sell versus the noon temperature on the day. That day. Here are their figures for the last 12 days. The two columns in the columns, one is ice temperature, another one is ice cream sales. Temperatures in the one column and ice cream sales in another column in rupees. Shown in the scatter diagram, x-axis is temperature, y-axis is in the rupees of ice creams, ice cream sales, scattering in the dot 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 dot. This is the special type of the scattering diagram. This diagram is easily identify which is highest one. Here the highest one 25.1 degree, rupees 614. This is the highest one. This is the easily identify the scatter diagram. Next, we see, did you know pictogram? A pictogram, also called a pictogrammy, pictograph, or simply picto, and in it computer usage there is an icon, an ideogram that conveys its meaning through its pictorial resemblance to the physical object. A type of graph that uses pictures or symbols to show compare data. This is called pictogram. This is shown in the pictogram figures in the slide. And next, pictogram, symbol and pictograms which can be readily identified by the public are actively encouraged as a means of simplifying essential message. This is a major advantages, major keys for the pictogram graph. See in the slide, this is the pictogram chart. By seeing the picture, we know about the do's or don'ts in the easily identify. It can be easily, very easily identified in the slide. Conclusion. So we can conclude that statistical data may be presented in a more attractive form with the help of some graphical aids, that is pictures and diagrams, which carries a lot of communication power, and the task of understanding and interpretation of data becomes simple, accurate and practicable. Thank you one and all. Thank you very much.